In this current era of collections ticking boxes, the Nivada Grenchen F77 Titanium Meteorite evades categorization. Is it a reissue? Is it a homage? Is it high-tech? Well, it's a little bit of everything. The F77 is pretty accurately based on a real Nivada model from the 70s, itself chasing the success of a certain octagonal AP, but its character is entirely its own, and full of charming quirks and modern upgrades. Most brands that try and evoke that octagonal look accentuate the angularity and blockiness of the design, but the F77 actually goes for a softer approach. The bezel is rounded, quite flat, and the visible screws are relatively small. It also features a very vintage domed sapphire crystal. Not only is it softer in shape, but the vertical brushing which gives the F77's whole case a continual grain is light, providing something more like a haze than an industrial finish. The use of grade 5 titanium expands this to its wearing experience, weighing only 86 grams on the full titanium bracelet. As for sizing, it's a vintage accurate 37mm in diameter, with a 45mm lug-to-lug, although the nature of the quirky bracelet end links brings that out to about 50.5mm. Its curvature helps it wear somewhere in between those two measurements, so it's definitely still wearable for a smaller wrist. At 12.6mm thick, including the domed sapphire crystal, it'll feel svelte either way. One aspect that wasn't around in the 1970s is its Meteorite dial, and that definitely brings it into the 21st century. This particular piece of Meteorite has a scratchy, crystalline texture which offers a lot of detail, but doesn't distract from the elements that need to remain legible. It's a cool upgrade from a plain black or grey dial, but it doesn't feel overly strange or anachronistic. The applied indices and the blocky hands are full of retro style, but they're much shinier and more dimensional than they would be on an actual vintage watch. The same can be said for the applied Nivada logo, shield, and F77 badge, which were just printed on the original references. Beneath a solid caseback with the Nivada shield lies the Soprod P024 movement. It's based on the same architecture as the omnipresent ETA 2824-2 or the Sellita SW200-1, but the Soprod version has yet to become widespread enough for a general consensus and comparison. The reports from Nivada Grenchen owners, however, are vastly positive, and their accuracy tolerance is regulated within plus or minus 12 seconds a day, and in terms of specifications, it runs with a Swiss standard 4Hz beat rate and boasts a 38-hour power reserve, which is adequate, if unspectacular, for a daily watch. Now, what do you think about its balance between vintage and contemporary looks? I'm personally a sucker for a Meteorite dial, and I think the use of titanium makes this F77 feel appropriately space age, but I can understand those who might say that this is too much of a deviation from the OG formula. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts in the comments. The Nivada Grenchen F77 Titanium Meteorite is currently available for pre-order from the Time+Tide shop, priced at $2,990 Australian dollars. For a fully titanium integrated sports watch with a Meteorite dial, that's a bit of a steal. Speaking of a steal, it costs absolutely nothing to subscribe to the Time+Tide YouTube channel, so if you haven't already done so, you should. Also, I don't know if you know, but we've just launched a brand new behind-the-scenes channel called Time+Tide Tribe, which is something that you should also consider subscribing to. Until next time, don't be a stranger.